The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN, 8:30 a.m. Thursday morning. We're going to get initial weekly jobless claims in a moment. We'll look for that number. Starting things off, folks, we have markets in positive territory, extending some gains after quite a day in our nation's history. Yesterday, folks, sad day across the board. You have the president holding a rally, his supporters storming the Capitol. 4 people dead, 1 person shot. The president inciting violence to follow that. He's banned from Twitter for 12 hours. If he does it again, he's expelled from Twitter. That basically means the president is done on Twitter, because I think we all know that he can't be on Twitter and control himself from normalcy. So he's done with Twitter on his next tweet, I'm probably guessing. And the markets, folks, though, back to it. Up 21 points right now. In the S&Ps at 3761 with the NQs up 100 points, 12,717. The Dow up 117 points right now, 30,837. And we're going to jump right over to the weekly jobless claims number coming out. We got 787,000. Number was looking for about 815. The market was looking for. That number just hitting the tape at 8:30 this morning. Pretty calm reaction, 3761. Pulling back the S&Ps real briefly, taking a look. I mean, remarkable that we got it all back, folks. We got it all back in terms of Monday's cascading to lower prices down to 3652. The acceleration out of the gate yesterday morning. The news of yesterday, prior to the president's insurrection mob coming to the Capitol, was, of course, the Georgia Senate races. Democrats taking the Georgia Senate races. The market cascades right up to the highs. And then, unfortunately, the sad news of what was going on the Capitol with the president's supporters storming the Capitol, with the electoral votes being counted by Vice President Pence and Congress. Market trades back to 3740, but we're right near that high, folks. We're within about 13 S&P points of all-time highs right now. Remarkable market action across the board. Commodities, crude oil up 9 cents at 50.72 right now. You get the gold contract up $10 at 19.19 at 19.19. Quite a day to the downside in gold yesterday. And notes and bonds, you could call it the story of the market right now. The 10-year yield, I believe we're above 1.05% right now. We sure are. 1.054%. Yields rising. We got the 10-year above 1%, basically since the first time since April, I believe, 1.05. The 10-year is trading at 137.05. You get the 30-year off 9 ticks at 169.14. We'll jump over to the VIX this morning. 23.36. Saw quite a spike on the VIX yesterday on the violence going on in the Capitol, unfortunately. We've paired a lot of that back down this morning to 23.40, approaching the lows we had yesterday, about 22.40 in the market. Folks, we got to talk about Bitcoin. How about 40,000 on the radar? 39,000 would be next. But my goodness, you're talking about we were just at 30,000. Folks, we were just at 30,000 Tuesday morning. It's Thursday morning, and we might hit 40,000. Boy, watch out for that market. Speaking of stocks on fire, Tesla trading higher yet again today, up to 776 right now, reached 781 pre-market on Tesla shares. Quite the rocket ship across the board, folks. All right, in terms of what we have happening, sad day in the nation's history, folks. History is not going to be kind to the president yesterday, rightfully so. Sad day across the board. Thankfully, the vice president showing some class and some morals, Congress showing some class and some morals, getting back out there, doing their job, counting those electoral votes, and making sure that they do their business. Nonetheless, I'm going to tie back real quick, folks. What's lost yesterday, the deadliest day of the COVID-19 pandemic. You're talking about almost 4,000 deaths in that one day alone, folks, yesterday. Stay safe out there. This vaccine is coming, but we got a long way to go. You see cases where we are. You see the spike following the December holiday. We still have the New Year's holiday. We still have spikes coming, folks, from the holiday season, and the death number yesterday reaching an all-time high of almost 4,000. When you look at hospitalizations alone, I mean, this is the stuff that's just being lost on a humanity basis. The people don't realize, I think, yesterday that 4,000 people died from COVID because the president's supporters stormed the Capitol. So be safe out there, folks. These numbers are pretty horrific when you got 4,000 people dying in one day. Hospitalizations in the last month alone, folks, you look at where we were in early December, we were at about 100,000 for hospitalizations. We're up 30% in hospitalizations in this country in 1 month alone. And that is prior to the expansion and the growth that is expected from the holiday season. It's only January 7th. All right. New Year's was 7 days ago. Everybody knows there were New Year's parties going on. Christmas was less than about 2 weeks ago. Normally it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to start seeing the spikes in hospitalizations. Takes about 4 to 6 weeks to see the spikes in deaths. Those spikes are still coming when we're at 4,000 people dying a day. So be safe out there, folks. All right. What else we got going on? You may see an exodus out here, rightfully so. Former Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney, he's resigning from the Trump administration. You had a couple others resigning overnight as well. Looks like an armed insurrection was enough for some of the president's supporters to say enough is enough. And that may be the beginning, hopefully, of an exodus there. Because we got 2 weeks left, folks, and a lot of harm can happen when you have a president inciting violence for his supporters, storming the Capitol, calling them great people. 2 weeks, I don't think he should be president for the rest of the 2 weeks after what happened yesterday. All right, jumping around to what we have going on. Stocks making moves this morning. And we got some earnings out here as well, already kicking things off. Bed Bath & Beyond, they have profit of 8 cents a share, short of the 19 the market was looking for. Revenue short as well. Bed Bath & Beyond been a tough company as they trying to compete in quite a tough sector. BBBY, and it just gets tougher, folks. Quite a fall off. You're talking about basically a 15% drop at the open. We're just back to where we were on Tuesday, remarkably enough. But Best Buy, not Best Buy, Bed Bath & Beyond, back to 1809 this morning. Quite the pullback in a big way. Other stocks out there. Walgreens out with their numbers, beating estimates by 19 cents a share, $1.22. Revenue above as well. Walgreens said business environment remains challenging, but maintaining its prior fiscal 2021 forecast. That's a strong thing, folks, with everything going on right now. And Jets, you know what? You're gone. Yesterday was not a false flag. Goodbye, Jets. I appreciate you. You're gone. Thank you. We're not going to hear this malarkey, folks, and that's putting it kindly, okay? We got people in the den calling that a false flag operation. You had the president's supporters storm the Capitol after a presidential rally, and you had the president inciting violence, okay? TFNN is not the place that this is going to be extended with that type of promotion of what happened yesterday, okay? There's plenty of places on the internet, unfortunately, that you can do that, but it's not happening here, folks. I have a son that's going to be born in a month, and TFNN is not going to be part of the echo chamber that has created what happened yesterday. It's unfortunate what is going on in this country and the people who are explaining away what is happening yesterday as we have the president holding a rally and his supporters storming the Capitol, people dying, inciting violence in an effort to overturn an election. So get your heads out of your butts and let's move on, folks. The better things, hopefully, in 14 days. Market's positive. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be talking the market when we get back.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. Are you looking to buy or sell gold, silver, platinum, coins, or bullion? We can help. At Tiger Precious Metals and Stones, we specialize in the buying and selling of gold, silver, as well as collectible U.S. and foreign coins. We not only buy your unwanted or broken jewelry, but you can trade that in for gold and silver coins, too. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245 for a quote over the phone and to lock in the current market price. Call us now at 727-329-8245.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We have the S&P's positive by 20, NASDAQ 100 positive by 100. Should be an interesting open, about 45 minutes coming down the bell. I got a chart here of Constellation Brands. They make Corona beer, one of the biggest ones out there that they got is the coronavirus spread, Corona beer. But also the maker of a number of spirits, wines, and a big investor in Canopy Growth. They're out with their numbers this morning. Strong numbers, $309 a share. The market was looking for $239. Revenue above estimates as well. And how about a $2 billion share repurchase program? As you may expect on that news, you have Constellation trading up from $224 to $232 this morning. Talk about a big one when you're talking about $2 billion that they'll be talking about repurchasing for Constellation. Strong numbers, and they're in a great industry, folks, because they are open to cannabis, and there's Canopy trading higher this morning as well by the tune to about $1.50, as this sector is just poised for dramatic growth as you have basically Democrats controlling Congress, both branches, and the presidency, cannabis legislation, probably a matter of time, only a matter of time until that comes down the pipeline. But Constellation trading higher on their earnings this morning in a big way. What else we got going on? JP Morgan, Bank of America upgraded the bank to buy from neutral. I love it. The banks get together. Bank of America says, you know what? The banks are in a good spot. We're going to upgrade JP Morgan. They might as well upgrade themselves after those yields climbing higher, folks. Yesterday, banks, what a driver for banks, and it's going to keep going, folks. We got JP Morgan up from 132 to 135 this morning. That was from 123. Folks, you don't see banks pop 10% in 48 hours, but that's what happens. That's what's happened in the last 48 hours. You go from 123 on Tuesday to 135, up almost 10% in that area of time. I mean, all these banks, just rocket ships. Bank of America almost up 10% from Tuesday as well, from 30. It's going to extend the gains to 32.86. I mean, you're seeing an extension here in terms of notes continuing the run lower, right? We're right at the lows we were overnight. We're below anything we had yesterday. So you're looking at higher yield, and the bank's continuing that run that they have had. NVIDIA. The chipmaker stock added to Citi's Catalyst watch list, and Citi expecting NVIDIA shares to emerge from recent underperformance coming out of next week's Consumer Electronics Show. Wonder how they're doing that show right now with COVID. Stocks rose 2% in the pre-market. NVIDIA, I mean, everything's up almost 2% this morning, folks. I'm exaggerating a bit, but NVIDIA sliding yesterday with some of the tech stocks up this morning to 514.75. We got to talk about Tesla. Tesla's traded 776, all-time highs on a daily basis. Remarkable daily basis. I mean, look at this chart from 664, folks. We're going to be up $110 just from where we were like a week ago. We were trading at $700 actually a week ago, last Thursday. We're going to open 10% higher from last Thursday. Some of the news on Tesla, I believe they got an upgrade across the board somewhere. I was looking at this earlier. RBC Capital upgrade Tesla to sector perform from underperform. They put their target to 700 from 339. I think you had a couple other ones in here as well. Nonetheless, Tesla, the rocket ship, it just won't stop. Be careful of that one, folks. MGM, the casino operator, was urged by shareholder Snow Lake Capital to sell 20% of its China business. Snow Lake owns 7.5%, so you get an activist investor there trying to get them to ditch their China operations at least. And or a portion of them, I should say. How about Costco? 12% jump in December sales compared to a year earlier. How about that? Helped by increased sales of frozen foods and liquor. You got to have the essentials, folks. You got to have the essentials. I kid. Comp store sales up 10.7%. Just staggering numbers that we're dealing with across the board for some of these retailers. And we're going to be up about $2. This stock doesn't really move in too dramatic of a fashion. Costco from 370. We're up with the market to about 372 this morning on that news. Baidu, they've chosen Goldman Sachs for its planned Hong Kong listing. And T-Mobile added 824,000 postpaid phone subscribers during the fourth quarter. They're talking about 5.5 million for the year. Remarkable year it's been, folks. Remarkable year on many ways. Let's jump around to some of the FANG stocks this morning. Those FANG stocks yesterday, some big action in both directions. Amazon shares traded to a low of 31.31 overnight. We're going to open at about 31.65 this morning. We saw the action in Microsoft down to 211 overnight. We're trading at about 214 right now. You got to take a look at gold. The lows yesterday in gold, right near 1900. You're looking at about 1902 in that gold contract, down to right near 1900 from 1962. All things considered, though, folks, you put this on a daily. Excuse me. And, yeah, it's a pullback. But, man, we just traded basically on November 30th from 1767 up $200 and almost a straight shot to a high of 1962, pulling back a bit. Gold just kind of been chopping around in this area. We did dip down to that 1800, but maybe just a consolidation after making all-time highs of 2089 on August 7th. All right, some of my favorite stocks out there. Let's take a look. One of the ones that I do look at in the newsletter, we have a position in Rocket Equities. And options for one of our long-term equities is McDonald's, and getting a pop today as they have an upgrade as well. A couple, actually. Oppenheimer upgraded McDonald's to outperform. They put a 240 price target on McDonald's. We're up to 213. You also had Stevens & Company maintaining an equal weight. They raised their target to 232. And Barclays yesterday adjust the price target to McDonald's to 251 from 245. So a few upgrades across the board. You have McDonald's up to 213 and putting this on a daily. So you can see this gray area on the left, and that has to do with the consolidation area I've been highlighting in the newsletter. McDonald's been chopping around since about October 27th. You see the uptrend channel that it had been in coming out of the COVID lows, we'll call it. McDonald's going to open this morning at about 213. Long-term equity position, folks. No stronger brand almost in the world than McDonald's when you think about it, and they are up about $2 to $3 this morning on a couple upgrades for their shares. All right, we got to check in on the VIX. Volatility index, pairing all the gains we got. You put it on a daily, pretty interesting. We made a couple lows here. August, things look to be out of the woods. Optimism at highs. We did get the September spike when the market pulled back. We got the same spike towards October when you had the S&Ps trading lower into the beginning of the elections. And then what happens? We get election results. We get efficacy for the vaccine results. All of that gets sucked out. We've seen a little volatility in the last couple of days, creeping down to this 20 level in the VIX. The thing is here, folks, is reality has to catch up with rhetoric. And I only say that in that explain, we're dealing with 4,000 deaths a day right now for COVID, all-time highs. All the expectations in the market are for the future. We're already seeing a little bit of a slow rollout on the vaccines. Doesn't mean that that can't get ramped up when they start administering it to the regular population. But I imagine we have a little bit of volatility in the next 3 to 6 months just to have to do with the market as we have the ebbs and the flows. I mean, we're coming into a full earnings season right now when the economy is still so affected. I mean, we just had ADP private payrolls yesterday for the month of December. ADP employing 26 million people, and that was a decline of 130,000. About 24 hours from right now, we're going to get non-farm payrolls for the month of December. We'll see how that hits the market. But the VIX creeping down to about 23 right now. Markets holding up well. We got the S&Ps up 18, right near all-time highs near the open. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back. See what else we have going on for Thursday trading.
Back in the day, I joined the Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as,
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
you see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based, vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Going over what else we have going on. Micron going to be out with their numbers tonight. Talk about a strong stock, putting it on a daily. We go from 31 at the lows to 77. They're going to be coming out with their numbers after the bell tonight. In terms of what else we have going on the earnings front tomorrow, nothing really coming up tomorrow. As I mentioned, Micron after the bell tonight. But then we get into next week. Pretty interesting as we start to kick things off. Monday, Carnival. We get. So cruise line, be interesting to see what they have to say. You get into some of the airlines on Tuesday. You get Delta coming out to start things off. We also get groceries, Albertsons. You get KB Homes on Tuesday of next week. On Wednesday, we come in and we get, IHS Market maybe. Thursday, let's see, we start with some banks, and they usually kick them off. You got Bryn Mawr Corp, some of the smaller banks. You get BlackRock in there, a big one. Some smaller regional Citizens. We get Charles Schwab, Progressive Insurance, People's United Finance, and then on Friday, we get the big banks. They really kick it off. Citi, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, PNC. Friday morning, 8 days from right now before the market. And then after that, it goes full swing. Earnings with all the companies kind of plowing into things coming into the week after that. As you're going to see, just interesting. Yahoo Finance, a great job for being able to access when these come out, folks. That's where I usually just check pretty quickly. A number of avenues to find out when they're coming out. But you see where we are in terms of the number of companies, right? Next Thursday, we got 68 companies. You really get into the week after that, and look where we are. We start getting 50, 79, 108, 127, and 40. I say that because they got a lot to say, folks. We're still in a pretty tough shape in terms of the economy right now. We're going to go through a full earnings season with, as I mentioned, deaths at about 4,000, hospitalizations at about 130,000, cases every day approaching above 200,000 to 250,000. So stay safe out there, folks. Going to be an interesting day in the markets. Nonetheless, we'll see where the markets goes. Higher prices coming into the open. S&P's up 18 points. NASDAQ up 95, Dow up 93, and the Russell up 5 points. Thanks so much, folks. I appreciate you tuning in every day. I appreciate you letting me be here. Stay tuned. We got our man Larry Pesavento. He's coming up live next for Trade What You See. We'll be right back.